Alright, it is late Sunday night. I decided to do this video. I don't know why, but it's gonna cause a lot of arguments in the comments and on Twitter and everything. If you really need to disagree with me, just do it in a nice way. Don't be a you-know-what about it. Just try to be nice if you have to disagree. I'm going to be going over why Barry saved Thawne in the Flash 805 because people can't seem to understand his decision, so I'm going to talk about it. And, again, it's going to cause a lot of arguments if it hits the wrong group of people. So, if you really, really feel the urge to leave in the comments down below that you disagree, just put it in a nice way. Okay, that's all I'm asking. Just put it in a nice way. Don't be a brat about it. Just try to be nice when you're leaving your comment, and I would appreciate that very much. If for whatever reason you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button, or if you agree, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and at least try to enjoy the rest of the video. So in the Flash 805, the ending of the Armageddon 5-part event, this was in 2021 December, before the Flash went on a 3-month hiatus, which recently came back last week and is continuing this week, at the point in time we're recording this. Barry was left with the choice to save Thawne or let him die, aka vanish the timeline, because the timeline was changing where Thawne was dead, and he was vanishing. It's going to be erasing the timeline. There'll be no more Thawne. Nothing. Barry was going to go with the decision to just let him die. And then he changed his mind. You can argue because of Joe. You can argue not. I'm going to be talking about that in a minute. He changed his mind to save him. And mainly because Despero, well, not mainly because, this is completely the opposite. Despero said that if you save Thawne, he will more than likely 100% come back like he's always done before. Which is correct. He will. Thawne's going to come back. Now, a lot of people think this is the show's writing that was bad because the show can't survive without Eobard Thawne. It can. It did for years. It's yes, he shows up every season. You want to know why? Because he's Barry's arch nemesis. They've been teasing for the past 8 years that Barry will vanish because of Thawne. If you let Thawne die, right, what's the point of that? Now, this isn't just a writing thing. This isn't because the writers are like, oh, we need Thawne like a year from now to kill off Barry. No, this is who Barry is. Barry has proven for the past 8 years that we've seen on this show, he has proven that every single person across the Arrowverse and on Earth Prime in the multiverse, that if he has a chance to save someone, he will do it. Now, you could argue that Barry let Zoom die. That is different. Because if you look at it this way, the time race came after Zoom and took him. Did you want Barry to get caught in that? No. It's a simple matter of fact that when you look at what Thawne's done, yes, he is a psychopathic lunatic that killed Barry's mom, and Barry's had to kill him hundreds of times. But the position that Thawne put Barry in at 805 in the beginning of the episode, when they were in CCPD and Thawne put this whole charade on, attacking the police officers and Mia, to get everyone's attention to ask the Flash to save him. Now, let's look at what would have happened if Barry didn't save Thawne. The cops, they wouldn't trust him. And if they did trust him, they would be worried that he would just let people die. People don't seem to either remember the past 8 years of this show or seem to not care at all. Barry has proven the past 8 years, as I said twice now, that he will do anything he possibly can to save anyone no matter what. Thawne put him in a position where his hands were tied, and if he let Thawne die, the entire world would eventually find out. But the first group of people that would find out were the cops. Now, yes, the cops might be able to trust Barry after that. but it would be a big maybe. I mean, all of them know the kind of hero the Flash is, Barry is, and they saw the ultimatum that Thawne gave Bear. So it makes no sense for Barry to just let him die. Yes, I get the reason behind letting him die. I get why everyone's saying that Barry should have let Thawne die. But Joe was right. Barry has the ability to change anything that comes his way. He has the ability to think outside the box, to do things that no one else can do. He has the opportunity to freaking, stop time, think of solutions to come up with it. Let alone the fact he already thought of one before Joe even came in. So he was considering it. It's just everyone around him, besides Joe, was saying we need to let Thawne die. But Joe, again, was right. And if you really think about it, this all started with Oliver. A couple seasons ago, hell, even last year, or whenever Crisis was. Oliver told Barry that he's the best person of them all. He would not let any person die if he could save them. Now, because he's a better hero than Oliver ever would be. You look at what Oliver's done on Arrow the past 8 years. He's never, ever wanted to kill Chase, Diaz, Emiko, the Monitor, the Anti-Monitor. After everything all those people have done, he never killed them. Slade Wilson murdered his own mother in front of him and his sister, and Oliver did not kill him. He killed hundreds of people, did not kill him. Now, I'm not saying that Slade is as bad as Thawne. I'm not, because we all know Slade's better than Thawne. But there are similarities here where people are arguing Barry's reason behind letting Thawne die. It's a simple matter of fact that Thawne killed Barry's mom. While if you were talking about season 2 Barry, he probably would have let Thawne die. And maybe this Barry would too. Clearly not. But Barry, like I said, is a hero. He's the better half of every single person on the Justice League and out of it. Because all the Earths, all the timelines, Barry is the one hero, besides Oliver, who's now gone, that everyone looks up to. Everyone looks up to him. If he does the right thing, everyone's going to follow it. The second Barry goes off the rails and starts letting people die when he can save them, that's going to send a very wrong message to Black Lightning, Sarah, Supergirl, Superman, Ryan Wilder. I'm just going to send a wrong message to all of them when they're going to compare him to Oliver. OG Oliver, the one that would just let people die no matter what, or kill them no matter what. If Barry let Thawne die, he wouldn't be the hero that he's been for the past 8 years. Bottom line. I don't get why people can't see that. But at the same time, when Barry was saying we need to let Thawne die, I was annoyed at that when I was watching the episode. I remember watching the episode, and I was annoyed when Barry said he wants to let Thawne die. Yes, that wouldn't mean Barry's going to kill Thawne, obviously. But Barry has said several times, if he has a chance to say something, he's going to do it. Thawne put him in the spaces, I said already, that if Barry didn't save Thawne, the cops would know, and then pretty soon the entire world would know. And then cause a whole thing where no one would trust the Flash, because everyone would look at him differently. I mean, and I'm sure people judge him for saving the evil people, speedsters, whatever. Any of them. I'm sure people hate him for that. Some people do, some people don't. But if you look at the majority of Central City, some of the bad guys that Barry's put away, either A, are still locked up, B, aren't bad anymore, or C, they're trying to change. I mean, that never would have happened if Barry didn't put these people behind bars. Thawne is in the metahuman prison right now with no speed. Yes, he's gotten it back before, as Despero said. As has happened dozens of times in this show before. Barry knew that. Barry knew that Thawne, if he ever got out, would continue his plan to make sure that Barry suffers and dies. He knew that from the get-go. But it doesn't matter. This isn't because Barry wanted Thawne to just go around and kill people. This wasn't because Barry's waiting for Thawne to try to kill him again. This wasn't for writing purposes. This was for the simple fact that this is who Barry is. And 805 shined a bright light on the kind of hero Barry is continuing to be, even after going through hell a couple 100,000 times in the span of 5 episodes in Armageddon. Over the past 8 years, Barry's been the same hero, just leveled up this season. But let alone in Armageddon, as I said, he went through hell and back like 12,000 times. I mean, we all saw that. And for Barry to still come in and say, I'm not going to let Thawne die, whether it was Joe helping him see it or not, he was still willing to make the call and say, we are going to save Eobard Thawne's life because that is the hero that he is. He attacked Despero for that simple reason. Despero wanted Thawne to die because he's not a good person. Period. There's no timeline where Barry, if given the ultimatum to let Thawne die, if it meant other people would die, he wouldn't do it. If it meant that Thawne would die and Barry would finally get to move on with his life, like 5 years ago, he more than likely wouldn't do it because that's not Barry. That has never been Barry. You look at the season 5 finale. Thawne caused Nora to die. Excess to die. Barry was threatening to kill him. He didn't. He could have. Even if Nora was dying in that moment, it wouldn't have mattered. Barry still could have killed Thawne that time. Barry could have killed Thawne on Crisis on Earth X crossover. He could have killed him hundreds upon thousands of times before 805. He had every chance to kill Thawne, and he didn't. And it's not because of writing purposes. It's not because Barry's too weak to or too sentimental to. It's because he's a hero, and the entire world sees him as a non-killer and a person who would do anything that it takes to protect those, no matter what they do. That is the hero that Barry is. And if people can't get that, then maybe you need to rewatch past 8 years of the show. Go back starting at the pilot and see the kind of hero that Barry is in the pilot to now. And you come back in this comment section and you tell me, bottom line, if Barry would legitimately be okay with letting Thawne die in the world's perception of the Flash, what would that be after Thawne died? The correct answer is the simple fact that everyone that views the Flash as a hero, most people would stop believing in that. Most people would quit believing in the Flash if they just saw him let someone die. Even if it was Thawne. The fact that Barry saved Thawne sends a message that Barry is willing to do whatever it takes to protect people. Yes, Thawne being alive, if he gets out, will do no more harm than good. Or will do more harm than good to the people. Yes. But we still have Barry being as fast as he's ever been before. He's as powerful as he's ever been his entire life as the Flash. On this show, in the future, he is the most powerful we've ever seen Barry. If Thawne gets out, Barry's going to stop him in a heartbeat. Or at least, a long fight. But it would end with Thawne being back in prison. That's the only way it could literally end. Unless Thawne manages to get really more powerful than Bear and kills him, and it creates the original timeline again where Bart isn't born, Thawne goes back to his time, the whole thing resets from the pilot. Everything happens 4 years later, and everything just comes back in motion. Oliver's alive. There's nothing bad going on because the Flash is dead. And I could see that being a case. And it might be a pretty damn good series finale in season 9 or 10. But at the same time, if you really look at it, Barry would not let Thawne die. If you quit looking at what Joe said, if you quit nitpicking this show, which for the record, season 8's redeeming this show. If you can't see that, quit watching. Quit watching the damn show. It isn't that hard to change a freaking channel for like a week. I mean, season 8's really bringing back the show. I don't care what people say. A ton of people agree with me. Season 8 is bringing back the show. The last 6 episodes of season 8 have been far better than the majority of episodes from any other season, The Flash, up till season 2 and 3. 4, 5, 6, and especially 7. There were no more than at least 5 episodes that were good episodes in all those seasons. Season 7 only had like 2 good episodes, period, bottom line, in that season. Season 8 is 6 for 6. I mean, that's pretty damn good. When at this point, in season 4, 5, and 6, we couldn't really say the seasons had a first good 6 episodes. We can't even say they had a good first 4 or 5. Maybe 3 for some of them, if we got lucky. But season 8 is redeeming this show. And just because everyone's nitpicking on Barry saving Thawne and hating on the season even more and more, doesn't mean it was bad writing. It means it was pretty damn good writing if you look at it from a whole. Barry saving Thawne was the right call to make. It wasn't for writers, whatever. It wasn't for Barry to be sentimental. It was because Barry is that type of hero. He's always been, he always will be, and he always will continue to be, however long he's alive. Assuming he dies. Which, even if he doesn't die, he would teach Bart and Nora the exact same thing. And I'm pretty sure Bart even said a couple, I think last season or earlier this season, that Barry taught them to not just let people die. If you can save someone, you do it. I'm pretty sure it was Nora. Or both, probably. If you see someone that's in coma, no matter what they've done, you go in and you save them as fast as you can. That's what they do. That is who Barry is. If we really can't understand that, well, quit watching the show. That's the best thing I can tell you. And I don't really know what else to say. So, yeah. That's everything I want to talk about in the video. Again, if you really need to disagree with me, and you really feel the urge to leave a comment about it, put it in the nicest way possible. I'm not going to deal with rude, harsh comments that are going to be so annoying to read 24/7. I'm not going to do it. So just leave a nice comment if you really need to disagree. And we can have a peaceful conversation about it. No more, no less. Thank you for watching every day. Have a good day, have a good night. Hit the like button down below, subscribe if you're new, turn notifications on. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.